Oh, my name is Andria Beaver. So glad you're here. Yay. So, I need to clean my glasses off. I literally just ran in from taking my son to schedule to a meeting at the university he's enrolling in, and had to hurry up and set everything up. And then as I'm setting up, I realized that I left my camera holder back at Bead Fest in Philadelphia. So I need to get another phone stand. So I pulled this one out and like, well, it works good enough. We're just going to have to roll with it for today. Hi, Michelle. I'm so glad to see you. So thanks for bearing with me, guys. We're going to have a fun project today. So I thought it would be neat to share this project. I did this at Bead Fest Live. And it's a prehnite bracelet. I love prehnite. I think it's a beautiful stone. It has really neat properties behind it. It's really pretty, kind of like a light green color with some mixture of a dark green within it. And I'm using a faceted stone. And you'll see all the shoppable links at the bottom of the video. And I also will be using some small prehnite stones that are faceted as well. Little guys like this, so we can wire up ball head pins and turn them into dangles. And I'll show you how I wire up stones and connect them together to create a chain for a bracelet. And if you have any questions, I can read them on artbeads.com. Feel free to post your questions. We'll be able to answer them. And if you're missing today's live, that's okay. You can catch it on YouTube or on artbeads.com as a replay or on Facebook. And just making sure I caught everything. I think so. Again, we'll be sharing shoppable links on the video if you would like to make this bracelet for yourself. And if you have any wire wrapping questions, please let me know. I'm more than happy to go back over how to do it again. And if you're not a part of our Facebook group, hi PJ, feel free to join the Art Beads Facebook group. And when you make our projects from the tutorials, post your photo, tag us. We love to see what everybody makes with the art beads. And let's have a fun class. I'm going to pause my show for a minute. I really appreciate your patience. I got to get everything lined up super nice so we can see everything here as best as I can. I will be ordering a new phone stand today. That way, this is a little bit easier to view. Here we go. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I want you guys to be able to see everything really clearly. Okay. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more. There we go. Okay, I hope that works for you guys. Okay, so I'll be using some bronze ball head pins. These are 21 gauge. The one specific ones I'll be using now are sold out, but I do have one really similar posted and available on the shoppable link. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Robin. Hi, Dee. I will be using the 22 gauge artistic wire brand wire and the antique brass, or it's a beautiful like bronze color. And then I'll be using an 8mm faceted prehnite stone and some smaller faceted prehnite stones. So for starters, I cut off just a few inches of wire, and I'm going to go for about 3 inches because you're going to want to have enough wire to wire wrap a loop on each side and have space for your stone and have a little extra just in case you need it, so you have more to work with than less. I find it's easier to have extra wire than not enough, so we don't have to start over again. So I'm going to go ahead and take, again, about 3 inches of wire and my round nose pliers, and I'm going to form a loop beginning on one side. I know, Robin, I'm sorry. All I can say is I'm trying to use stuff that is available on the shoppable link. This will give you the same colors and the same gauge and everything I'm using. And it's the exact same stones on the link that I have available. So everybody should be able to make this project. And so I'm using my round nose pliers on one end, and I'm going to form a loop. And you just want to do a basic loop. And I'm going to hold the end here, and I'm going to kind of rotate it around underneath my loop a couple times. And I'm going to hold it in place here and bring it around with my pliers and just finish looping it around. And then you just want to carefully just bring that wire around and pinch it down. And we're going to fold it under the previous coils we made and flatten it. And then I just kind of tuck it in. And I'm going to bring this actually one up a little bit more and bring it down. There we go. Hi, Pauline. So glad you're here. And so we have a loop on one side. Okay. So the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to take my prehnite stone and slide it down the wire like this. And I'm just going to do a close up here. This stone's really pretty. It's really faceted and it's shiny and it's a beautiful mixture of greens. I love it. It's just beautiful. So for the first stone that you're doing, you'll want to wire wrap a loop on each end. And then after each bead, we're going to switch it up just a little bit. But for the first one, you just want to have like your 2 link connectors on each side. And when I do the other side, I'm just going to bring the wire over the outside of my round nose pliers barrel here. And then I'm going to take my pliers and bring it back over the other side of the round nose pliers like this. And this is going to form a loop. So the other thing you want to do is you want to make sure your loops as you're working are going the same direction. So you want to have them facing up and together. That way as the stone sits on your wrist, it won't bunch up and it will lay nice and flat. So I'm going to take my wire, I'm going to do a couple coils around like this and cut off the excess wire. And then I'm going to pinch this closed underneath the previous coils that I made. Really gently, but you also want to make sure that the wire is nice and flush underneath your coil so you don't have any wires sticking out that can catch on something. So I like my coils to be nice and tight and line up perfectly together, like as much as possible, with my tail cut and pinched and kind of underneath the previous coils. That way everything sits flush, and then that will be the front part. So you have your first bead done here. Okay, so for this project, I recommend 9 stones. That'll get you about a 7.5 inch long bracelet. If you want to have a longer bracelet, you just want to adjust the amount of stones that you need for as many beads that you'll need for the length. So for this one, again, I'm going to do a loop, and I'm going to take the first stone I have here, and I'm going to slide it on to my second loop like this. So this way they're joined together, and we're going to keep doing this, and we're going to form a chain basically. And for this one, I'm going to hold it with my tools. And again, I'm going to wire wrap a couple loops here. Oh, Kim, I'm sorry to hear about your weather. It's crazy down there in Florida right now. And the Carolinas. Okay, I'm going to pinch my wire down. And then I have my flat coils again, ready to go for my next loop. And I have it connected to the other loop. So now I'm ready to add my next stone. And here you go. So you want to keep repeating the same steps until you've reached the desired length. And then you want to leave an inch at the end for your clasp. So if you want to have an 8-inch bracelet, you will want to do this for 7.5 inches. And then the remaining space will be your clasp. So I'm looking at how my wire is going, and for this one, since I want them to be same direction, I'm going to go ahead and grab my tools and do a loop this way and bring it around. And I have my loop like so over my stone. I'm just going to grab my extra wire here. I'm going to rotate it around and cut off my excess wire. And again, you just want to use your pliers. I'm using chain nose pliers, and you just want to push that wire in the back and tuck it in under the previous coil so it looks like this. Try to do a close up, and then this is the back. So everything's nice and flush and you don't have any wires poking out anywhere. And again, I'm just going to take my wire, fold it around my round nose pliers for the first loop, and slide my previous chain here onto the open link, and then take my pliers. I'm going to wire up this closed. I do, about 2 to 3 loops depending on how much space you want for everything. I love this stone. It's really pretty. I became attracted to prehnite a few years ago, and this bracelet design was published in Bella Amore magazine, and I just really appreciate prehnite. It has really pretty coloring, and the metaphysical properties are also nice. I think it's a really nice, to me it's like a calming stone, so it's like calm in color, and it just feels really comfortable when you're working with it, and the inclusions and everything in this stone are really pretty, and the faucets just make it sparkly. So when you're wearing it, you have kind of like a diamond almost look. I think they're really pretty. And it's not expensive either. The stones themselves are not expensive. You could probably make 2 bracelets to 3 bracelets and a pair of earrings out of 1 strand. So it's an affordable way to make multiple pieces of jewelry. And the wire, you can get multiple projects out of that as well. I've also made matching earrings to go with this bracelet out of the smaller beads and the larger ones. So you could link 2 of these together for an earring and have the base with some of the dangles on it. So you could have a pair of matching earrings to go with your bracelet, or you could turn this into a pendant as well. So you could have, the pendant like this. This could be also a necklace here. You could have one drop in the middle for a necklace. So to me, you can make so many different types of jewelry using this technique. So this would be a great chain, like I said, for necklace and a matching bracelet. And with 1 strand, you could make both, and then probably have a stone left over for a light drop stone earring. Just put 1 stone with an ear wire, and then you have a pair of earrings. So I've got 3 stones. I'm going to do 3 more of these and see where we're at. And we'll go ahead and start attaching dangles once we get to that point. That way we can all hang out and figure out how I attach dangles to a wire-wrapped bracelet. So again, I have my coil starting here, linked to my chain, and we go around a few times. Just want to go like 2 or 3 times and cut off excess wire. I don't know if you guys can hear my cats running around in the background or not. They're chasing each other up and down the stairs. And I'm going to go ahead and pinch this down and add a stone like so. And again, you just want to keep repeating the same steps, and then as you're working, make sure your wire links are facing the same direction. You can just kind of twist it around. That way everything wants to lay facing the same direction. And here we go. And I'm going to bring my wire on the outside barrel back around the interior side of the barrel to form my loop, and bring it around like so. Pinch the wire down, cut off your excess wire, and pinch your wire down flat and behind your previous coils. And then you have your coils done here, and it's nice and flush on the back. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Dominique. How are you guys? I'm glad you can make it. Hello. Thanks for coming. Okay. Oh, you have cat claw marks on your mat. Aw. My cat was laying on my mat just a little bit ago. Thankfully, there's not a lot of cat hair on it, but she just decided, I'm going to lay in the middle of your mat, and you can't use it. And her name's Luna, And she will tell you, nope, you're not, you're just going to have to work around me. So literally I have a cat in the middle of my entire workspace while I'm trying to do anything. It's funny. I feel bad moving her though, because she's so cute and comfortable. Does anybody have any questions on how to do this project? Oh, you have a Luna too? I just think it's a perfect name for a cat. You know, cute and mischievous all at the same time. Oh, thank you, Stacy. I really appreciate that. Means a lot to me. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to do this one. And again, you just want to pinch your wire down under the coils. Cut off excess wire. What other gemstones would I recommend for this bracelet? Oh, that's a great question because there's so many beautiful gemstones to choose from. Amethyst would be a great one. We're in August, so I would say the August birthstone, I think, is peridot. If you could track down a peridot. Hi, Tina. Hi, Kim. Thank you so much. You could also do really pretty moonstone with silver wire. So there's so many different choices of beads that you could pick for this. You could also do this for every month. Just do a birthstone set. So like January through December of birthstones, and then have an entire jewelry set where you have a bracelet, earrings, and a coordinating necklace. I think that would be a really great idea. And if you can't find the stone that might be the specific one for the birthday, like diamond, for example, might be out of your price range, but you could find a clear quartz substitute and then do a June bracelet with that instead. Hi, Tina. Don't worry about being late. Right now we're wire wrapping 8mm pre-night stones for a bracelet. So we're basically making a bracelet chain, and then we're going to add dangles and a clasp for a bracelet. So I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to hop over to how I attach the dangles. So again, yeah, I love amethyst. It's, you know, February birthstone. A lot of people in my family have a February birthday, so I find that plus I just love purple. It's beautiful. That's funny. Well, I hope you have fun watching it on replay. Tell your husband we all said hi. Okay. So I'm going to show you another trick too while I'm thinking about it. So in the event you're like, whoops, I made a loop and I didn't attach it first. You can just do it backwards. So you have your loop ready and you can add your stone and you can just add it secondary. So I'm going to form a loop on this side and I'm going to leave it open and attach my chain, slide it on, and then wire wrap it like this. That way, if this happens a lot, you might accidentally forget and wire wrap it out of sequence. It's fine. You can just add it last. And then just have the chain dangle that way. Because that happened at our class, and I do that sometimes too, where I work ahead and I forget what I'm doing. I'm like, oh shoot, you know what? I wire wrapped it closed. You can just add it at the end with your opening, and then add it to your chain. And so we have this done, and now we're going to do our dangles. Okay, so I like to use 22 to 24 gauge ball head pins. It's just my bag. I don't know why I love ball head pins. I feel like they look finished. It looks a little bit classier. It's just my personal preference. I'm addicted to these. And depending on the size bead you're using. So if you have a tiny bead, you'll want to use 26 or 24 gauge. If you have a 5mm stone that is not fragile, you can use a 22 gauge one. So it depends on what size of stone you're using, the hardness of it, and sometimes I'll wire wrap a stone and it will crack and it will break and fall off. So that's also common too, depending on what you're using. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Sharber. Thank you. So for this one, It's a slightly larger stone, so I can get away with 22 gauge. And also, if you want to have more of a metal look, you can use a thicker ball head pin. So I would say I predominantly switch between 24 and 22, just depending on what stone I'm working with. And when I do these, again, I'm going to do the same style of wire wrapping as I did on the other guy. I'm going to bring my wire to the outside of my round nose pliers, and I'm going to rotate them up and I like a slight diagonal here. I'm not sure if it's like 45-degree angle, but I'll just throw that out there. You just want to kind of rotate your pliers up at an angle. And then I'm going to bring my wire back over to the outside barrel, and this is going to form a loop. So I'm going to pull this off really quick. So you have your loop. And once I have that, I'm just going to bring my wire around. You want to make sure your stone's flat. I'm going to bring my wire around. Except for because I pulled it off, I just messed it up. So it's okay. We're going to tweak it a little bit. I personally don't want a really large loop at the top. And also, you want to make sure you have space between your bead and your wire, so that way you can bring the wire around and it won't crack your stone, and you have a little bit of space there for your coils to go around. So I'm just going to bring it around here like once, maybe twice, figure out how much room I have. Okay, I have enough. And I'm going to bring it around like so, and then cut off my excess wire. Like so, and then you just want to use chain nose pliers, and you just want to gently kind of tuck it in like so. Now, sometimes, again, when you do this, your stone will crack and break. If that's the case, you just, I'm reading Tina's. I like ball head pins now because with the hoop pins, I keep adding and adding dangles because I hate to see an empty hook, especially on earrings. I'm the same way. I love spacing out dangles for the rest on my bracelets. I just feel like it adds a certain bling. So I finished wire wrapping my dangle here, and I'm going to do 3 of them. So I do 2 different styles for this particular bracelet. Sometimes I have 3 dangles, sometimes I have 6. So I'm going to show both so you can decide what you want to do, if you want to do 3 or 6. When I do multiples like that, I like to have 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom. So that way when the bracelet is sitting on my wrist, it's balanced and I don't have too many dangles on one side and not enough on the other. So I'll attach 3 on one side and 3 on the other, so it goes balanced down the edge of the bracelet, and it's balanced, and it looks nice on your wrist. Okay, so I have 3 done. I'm going to do 3 more, and then we will go from there. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out anytime. You can email artbeads.com. If you're looking for a product that we're out of, sign up for the email list to get notified when it's back in stock. If you have a question on a technique, feel free to message me on my social media or send me an email, whatever you feel like doing. Okay, so we got, going to pinch this wire down again underneath the previous coils. That way everything is nice and flush and flat. And we are using stones today from Dakota Stones that are available again on artbeads.com, and I'm using the pre-night stones, and I just think they're so pretty. I feel like they're perfect for August. Just a real nice light green color with some translucent shades in there, and the beautiful faucets just make them look sparkly. There we go. And a couple more. And thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. I hope your week's going well so far. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're having a fabulous day. I'm still a little tiny bit jet lagged, but we're doing good. Everyone's doing good. Had a blast last week in Bead Fest, and if you want to, check out our videos that are on artbeads.com, where we did some live classes from Art Beads. You can check them out. Oh, I'm sorry, Patricia. Well, you can catch it on replay, and we look forward to having you back. Hopefully your phone will get fixed. Sorry about that. So for this guy, I'm going to use 3mm jump rings here that open up. And I'm going to open up one, and I'm going to attach 3 dangles with this jump ring. So how I space them out on this bracelet is, actually I'm going to take these off, is I like to do one on each side of the stone. And for me, how did I do this? I kind of like to do one, let's say, on this side of the stone, and then on this side of the stone. And I like to pick the same link as I'm going on each side of the stone, so that way when it lays flat, it makes sense. So like I'll put one here, 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 using the same link space on each side of the stone. That way it's balanced as you're going around the bracelet. Now you can do it however you want. You can have them here, 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 wherever you want to put them. But for me, I pick a link, and I just stick with the same link position on each side of the stone so it stays consistent. And then what I do is I'm going to grab my jump ring here with some stones. I'm going to do 3. And I'm going to pick my link spot, and I'm going to go through the link with my jump ring and close and hope it doesn't go flying out of my hands. And it didn't. Yay! So now you have your 3 dangles in between the 2 stones on your 1 link spot. So you can do this way. And again, we're just going to go all the way around with the same link position. If you decide that you wanted to have more, can make it more of a cha-cha bracelet. Going to grab 3 more stones, and you can add it on the other side of the link like this and go on the top. If you didn't want to do that, I'm throwing stones everywhere, you could use the link next to it and add stones. That would just be your preference. But if I wanted to go on the same link I used the other ones, I'm going to go through the other side on the top. So I have dexterity problems. Okay, so I'm trying to hold this up so y'all can see on camera. So I have the link here with the jump ring and the stones hanging off the base. So there's the opening, and there's everything dangling down. So if you look, you have an opening here at the top of your loop. That would be another great spot to add another jump ring with some more stones on it. That is an awesome idea, Deborah. Oh my gosh, you could use this for a bead soup. I love that, reclaimed beads. You could do an entire bead soup using the chain technique and then add smaller beads as a filler bead for dangles. That is a beautiful idea. When you finish that bracelet, please share it on Facebook. I love to see it. That would be so much fun. It would be a real bohemian bracelet then. So I'm going to attach this to the top of the chain here. Let me open this up. And I'm going to go through the top link here. So you can do this. And then you'd have 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom, and you'd have a nice chunk of dangles in between each stone. So that's also a secondary option. But I'm going to take this and I'm going to bump it down to the link portion down here. So we're going to go through. And again, you also want to pick the same link space and the same direction. So if you're going on the bottom, you want them to all be on the bottom on that link space. So when your stones lay down flat, it'll lay down like this. Let me see if I can. Okay, I can't zoom in. So I'm going to bring it up. So as you're going around, you can see the link opening there. So I have the same link space and they're coming down the same direction. And so when it's on your wrist, they'll lay like this. I just think it's such a beautiful bracelet design idea. And it's fairly, with a little bit of practice, you'll totally get the hang of it, and you could do this entire project in about an hour. So it'd be great if you're going to a party and you wanted to make a bracelet with some beads you had. You could design an entire jewelry set to match your fashion. So here's a close-up. So again, I have the 3 stones in between the wire-wrapped 8mm stones, and you just repeat this until you've finished the bracelet to your desired length. So I'm going to do a set of 3 more, and then I'll add the clasp, so we have more of an idea of what the finished project looks like. And again, I'm just going to put these on some head pins really quick. So I hope y'all are doing okay and you're having a good day and you are not experiencing bad weather. I know it's kind of hit or miss right now around the country. It's either too hot or we have a hurricane or something going on, but hopefully everything passes over smoothly so we can stay at home and make some jewelry. And go ahead and press that wire down. Thanks, Deborah. I'm so glad you like it. Thank you, Dee. It's a great project. And again, these stones are really pretty. And there's enough where you can make multiple projects with it. Yes, I did that the other day. I thought I'm going to wear this dress. I need to have something to match it. I'm so glad the hurricane has passed you by, Stacy. That is great news. I'm sorry it's hot, though. When we were in Pennsylvania last week, oh my gosh, the humidity was insane. It was like 90% humidity, plus it was hot. So you'd be outside for a few minutes and felt like it had been raining. I love that city, though. We were in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. It was an amazing city. I just love it. Okay, pinch that down. Okay, so I have 3 more stones, and again, I'm going to grab my 3mm jump ring. That is true. It is always hot in August in Florida. I've been down to Florida a few times, to Pensacola. That's a fun place to go visit. Okay, so I'm going to make sure, again, I'm using this same link on my next stone. So I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to pop my jump ring in there. And then grab it again with my tools because I lost it. Oop, there we go. Okay, it's on there. We're good. And close it. And here you go. So now we have, you can see the bracelets start to come together here where you have your stones. And then you have your clusters. So I'm going to bring this up closer. And turn around. So here you go. You have your 3 stones and your 3 clusters. Oh, you live in Lancaster, Nancy? You're so lucky. Oh, I loved it. That market they have open, the Wednesday, Friday, Sunday one, I think. We had such a great time there. I did not get to visit the Amish area, but I drove through it. And that was really cool. Okay, so you just want to keep repeating this as you're going around. So you have your 8mm stones, you wire wrap them connected together, and then you have your drop stones in between each stone. And then next, you're going to add your clasp. And I'm using a 6mm jump ring for this one. And you just want to attach it to your last wire wrapped link here. Once you've reached your desired length. So pretend we have the dangles going all the way down, and then we have our clasp. And if you wanted to, you could wire up some extra stones to be like a chain on the end of your clasp. So you'd add extra dangles on there for extra dangles because they're awesome. And then, I mean, I've made rosaries before. I've done something similar by wire wrapping them as a chain. Yes, you just want to break it up with the main connector parts and then your rosary center. But yeah, you would wire wrap the same way with the 10 beads and then add your connector and then do the next 10 beads. So here is basically how your finished product will look on your wrist once you get it all to kind of lay flat. Oh, Gracie, I hope everything goes well for you. So here you go. Again, you have your stones and you have your dangles. I kind of want mine to lay all nice and flat. There we go. And here you go. This is how it will be on your wrist. Yes, I love cha-cha bracelets. I love dangles. I wire wrap them with a lot of my jewelry. So this is what your finished bracelet will look like. I just think it's really pretty. Again, I'm using prehnite stones that are super sparkly. Like, I just love that. It's a nice subtle sparkle. And like, here's another bracelet I did with more of a dangle. So you could take more prehnite stones and wire wrap them and just have them hang off the end like so, for like another chain detail. So there's enough of the prehnite stones on the strand where you can make earrings and a bracelet and a necklace and still have leftovers, as well as the 8mm strand. So again, look at how pretty those are. They're really sparkly stones. I'm in love with them. And again, here's a close-up of what your project will look like finished. So you have your 8mm stones wire wrapped together, and then you have your drop stones in the center like so. Oh, you're making 12 wire wrapped rosaries. That's amazing. They will be so beautiful when you're finished. And so here you go. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or the Art Beads team if it's specific about an item. And if it's sold out, you can sign up for a notification when it comes back in stock. And please feel free to join the Art Beads group on Facebook. We love to see what everyone is making with our tutorials, and we can hang out. And thank you so much, Robin. I'm so glad you loved today's tutorial. It's a great project. It's a fun wire wrapping technique, and you can use it for so many other stones as well to create your own beautiful jewelry. And thanks for hanging out with me today. Happy Tuesday. Have a great rest of your week. And we're all here for you if you have any questions. And thank you so much for joining me. And thanks, Michelle, for hanging out with us. Again, she works with the Art Beads team. She can help you with any questions you might have as well. And thank you, Dee and Robin and Kim. And hopefully we'll see you guys next Tuesday with a new project. And have a great rest of your day and have a wonderful